Chapter 13, 68. Capturing Spectral Soul. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. Purple Mountain. True monarch lost his immortal aperture. He lost his cultivation foundation. Without his immortal aperture, his future was bleak. Forget about the future. Even now, after his immortal aperture left his body, he lost a huge amount of Dalmarks. Even though he kept most of the goo worms and immortal essence with him, without the amplification of Dalmarks, his battle strength fell to rock bottom. This was something he had no other way to deal with. If his heaven chi was extracted, Purple Mountain, True Monarch's immortal aperture would break apart, the winds of assimilation will blow, and he would be in even greater danger of losing his life. Triple chi retraction was simply too incredible. It directly targeted the Goo Immortal's foundation. Even the great Purple Mountain True Monarch had to discard his own immortal aperture. It was like an Iron Palm 1 martial arts expert breaking his own two arms. Fang Yuan watched this, filled with shock. Throughout history, there were only 10 who became venerables. Anything related to these 10 existences could become extraordinary. Thieving Heaven, Demon Venerable's formless hand was like this. So was Paradise Earth, Immortal Venerable's reincarnation battlefield, and so was Primordial Origin, Immortal Venerable's triple high retraction. What can we do? Fang Yuan thought hard on how to change the situation. There was nothing he could do. He could only feel glad now. Glad that Purple Mountain True Monarch had already given him all the heavenly crystals earlier. While manipulating the Super Goo formation and resisting Fairy Z-Wei, he started to nurture the upper extreme Heavenly Eagle. He had a lot of heavenly crystals now, far more than the Heavenly Crystal Eagle nest earlier. Even if the upper extreme Heavenly Eagle became an immemorial desolate beast, the same thing would not happen again. It would not starve to death. Indeed, worthy of Duke Long. Purple Mountain. True Monarch spoke, expressing his admiration towards Duke Long. Duke Long was too powerful. He definitely had quasi-rank 9 battle strength. Against ordinary rank 8 Goo Immortals, he could crush them. Only people like Purple Mountain True Monarch, at the peak of rank 8, and being one of the original split souls of Spectral Soul Demon Venerable, having cultivated for 100,000 years, had the foundation and qualifications to challenge him. But after dozens of rounds, after Duke Long's probing ended, he realized that Purple Mountain True Monarch had no true way of countering him. So he started to use his Chi Path trump card. Triple Key Retraction was incredibly powerful, but such a strong killer move would leave the user in horrible condition if it was countered. It was like lifting a rock and smashing it on one's own head. Thus, any Goo Immortal would be very careful with such a killer move. Like how Fang Yuan would rather nurture the upper extreme Heavenly Eagle than use Reverse Flow Protection Seal. In this battle, I am bullying a junior. If you were not someone who is defying fate, we might be able to sit down and have a nice conversation. After all, in this world, there are too few people who can register my interest. However, I believe that in the near future, the entire world will brighten up. It will become incredibly exciting. And I will be the person to unveil this great new era. Duke Long sighed, starting to chase after Purple Mountain True Monarch. Purple Mountain. True Monarch fought and retreated. He was completely suppressed. He was hit by the first 2 styles of triple key retraction. His battle strength fell drastically. He was not Duke Long's match originally. The situation was worse now. Duke Long's attacks were powerful and unceasing. At this moment, he surpassed Purple Mountain True Monarch in every aspect. Purple Mountain. True Monarch could only hold on desperately while trying to use the killer move to create pure dream reality seeker physique bodies, but he had no choice other than to stop it. Ying Wuxi was still stuck in a dream realm. The other Goo Immortals only watched helplessly. Fang Yuan gritted his teeth, having a heavy heart. He quickly looked around the battlefield. Duke Long had a great advantage. Purple Mountain True Monarch was a lost cause. The only way now was to target the enemy's weakness to salvage the situation. However, Duke Long had predicted this when he sent his forces. All of the people he sent out were powerful beings. Ignoring Duke Long, Fairy Z-Wei had Star Constellation chessboard, while Heaven Overseeing Tower was tough as a fortress. Even though Zuo Yehui was attacking, it could only damage the exterior. There were many Southern Border Righteous Path Gu immortals, but they could not interfere in a battle of such intensity. Oh no! This cannot go on. Once Purple Mountain True Monarch loses, the entire battle will tilt in Heavenly Court's favor. By then, there will be too little hope for me to escape. Should I retreat now? Should I take a gamble on whether Heavenly Court has already found a way to counter reverse flow protection seal? Fang Yuan could not help but hesitate. This was something hard to decide on. But at this time, the battle between Purple Mountain True Monarch and Duke Long had a new development. A Blessed Land's entrance suddenly opened, as a huge Soul Beast army appeared from within. Purple Mountain True Monarch relied on these Soul Beasts to block Duke Long's attacks as he retreated into the Blessed Land. This is Shadow Sect's Blessed Land. Fang Yuan saw this as his eyes shined brightly, flashing with dazzling light. During the Battle of Yitian Mountain, Shadow Sect's Blessed Land was moved here by Shadow Sect. Shadow Sect's Blessed Land contained the door of life and death. Spectral Soul had emerged from it to resist the heavenly tribulations and earthly calamities, unleashing his great power and killing Heavenly Court's Gu immortals. Heaven Overseeing Tower was destroyed, and sovereign immortal fetus Gu was refined. After the Battle of Yitian Mountain, Shadow Sect met with failure as Fang Yuan snatched the fruits of their labor. The Dream Realm covered the entire place, and Shadow Sect's Blessed Land had to shut its entrance, defending from the outside. Purple Mountain True Monarch led Shadow Sect here and had been using his killer move to turn dream realms into pure dream reality seeker physique bodies. After trying hard unknowingly, the Blessed Land was freed, as the surrounding dream realms were removed. Thus, the entrance of Shadow Sect's Blessed Land could open again. There were countless soul beasts inside the door of life and death. They were all mobilized now to attack Duke Long. These soul beasts were of a massive scale. There were countless desolate beasts, with many ancient desolate beasts and even immemorial desolate beasts among them. The Soul Beast army disregarded sacrifices, attacking Duke Long in a suicidal manner. Purple Mountain True Monarch passed through the Immortal Aperture's entrance with the help of the Soul Beasts, entering Shadow Sect's Blessed Land. The appearance of the Soul Beast army did not turn the situation around. It only gave Purple Mountain True Monarch some time to regain his footing. Fang Yuan, let out your upper extreme heavenly eagle. What are you waiting for? At the same time, Purple Mountain True Monarch continued to ask Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan snickered. This was already the 50th time he had asked. Ever since he was hit by the Chi Path killer move, he had been urging Fang Yuan to no avail. The upper extreme heavenly eagle was his final trump card. Even if it was uncontrollable, he could let it out to cause chaos. How could he release it according to Purple Mountain True Monarch's words? Charge in, this blessed land is Shadow Sect's base camp. Fang Yuan thought. He wanted to see Duke Long enter the Blessed Land and fight to the death with Shadow Sect. He wanted Shadow Sect's Blessed Land to be full of traps, so that Duke Long could meet with trouble. But Duke Long did not pursue him. He stopped his movement. Fang Yuan was disappointed, while Purple Mountain True Monarch was slightly flustered. Duke Long's lips curled upwards. For the first time, he showed a natural smile. He suddenly turned around, charging somewhere with the speed of lightning. You finally decided to come out? Spectral Soul! He shouted, attacking as air currents raged, turning into a huge claw that grabbed at an area in the Soul Beast army. He found out! Purple Mountain True Monarch felt like he had fallen into an icy river. From the Soul Beast army, a human-shaped soul emerged. He did not evade Duke Long, he attacked. Boom! Even the powerful Duke Long was sent flying, while that human-shaped soul remained unmoved. Ha ha ha! Duke Long spat out blood, but he laughed. Spectral Soul, you are truly at your weakest. Damn it! Purple Mountain True Monarch quickly charged ahead, trying to reinforce him. Panic showed on his face for the first time. Fang Yuan saw this and finally understood everything. Shadow Sect is truly cunning. Purple Mountain True Monarch created a huge amount of pure dream reality seeker physique bodies, seemingly wanting to let Spectral Soul escape. But this was all a distraction. His true intention was to let out the Soul Beast army for Spectral Soul to devour and strengthen himself. Spectral Soul had the supreme method of devouring souls. That was the only way he could recover his strength rapidly. He might even be able to help Purple Mountain True Monarch defeat Duke Long. But all this was predicted by Duke Long in advance. Duke Long attacked while Spectral Soul was still weak. Purple Mountain True Monarch had to intervene. Too late, Duke Long laughed, stretching his arms as his dragon claws tore through space, forcing Purple Mountain True Monarch to retreat. Duke Long attacked Spectral Soul again. Air currents raged like dragons, entangling with Spectral Soul's main body. Spectral Soul's main body was originally very powerful. It was considered a quasi-rank 9 immemorial soul beast. It could even use goo worms in the immortal essence he had left behind in his lifetime. But after the battle of Yitian Mountain, Spectral Soul only had a trace of his remnant soul left. And this trace of his remnant soul was surrounded by dream realms, constantly consumed. The human-shaped soul roared, forcefully defending against Duke Long's methods. Duke Long's dragon eyes shined with intense fighting spirit. You want to resist me? Oh, Spectral Soul, if you were still a rank 9, I would avoid you at all costs. I would escape to the ends of the world. But now you are just a remnant soul. Your goo worms and immortal essence are not with you. I have been waiting for you for a long time. I'll tell you the truth. I am here to capture and imprison you within Heavenly Court, so that the entire world will understand the supreme might and glory of my Heavenly Court. The human-shaped soul was still struggling, while Purple Mountain True Monarch attacked Duke Long like he had gone mad. Duke Long defended against the latter easily while he looked at the human-shaped soul. He said arrogantly, "Still going to struggle pointlessly? In the past, even Red Lotus Demon Venerable was stopped by me. Now surrender to me." As he said that, Spectral Soul's main body was unable to defend against Duke Long's methods. He was trapped by a cage created from countless air currents. Like what Duke Long had said, he actually managed to capture Spectral Soul's main soul body.